Welcome in, everybody. Spring Branch ISD Coaches Show with Joshua Cook, powered by VYPE Media. Now joined by Kaddie Platt, the head volleyball coach of the Memorial Mustangs. And, well, Coach, welcome into the Coaches Show. Appreciate you taking some time with us this afternoon. Your volleyball team is playing pretty good volleyball as we sit here towards the end of October.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's a good time to be just kind of ramping up for some very competitive play. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Your team is coming off, with not having tournaments this year. Coaches had to come up with new ways to get the amount of games in, and so there are a lot of these dual match and kind of try matches that have been going on. Well, this past weekend you had Ridgepoint and Dawson, which you all saw Ridgepoint last year in the playoffs, lost them in the area round. They've been a program, been to state back-to-back years, and Pearland Dawson has been a powerful playoff team, and you beat both of them on Saturday. How big of a day was that for your program to notch those two victories?
It was really exciting. I think, you could say they're just great programs, and so they're great wins, but also the girls felt really good about the way they played. And matching up to two completely different teams and making those adjustments to play Ridgepoint, how you need to play Ridgepoint, and play Dawson, how you need to play Dawson to be able to try to beat those guys. But yeah, team is pretty excited. It was a great day.
Talk about, at this point, usually y'all are probably 25, 30, 40, almost 40 games into a season. And I think y'all are at like 14-4 right now. So 28 total games played. How different do you feel like the team is just now getting to the point where they're revving up to that full? Because usually it takes that first, second tournament to really get kind of everybody in their rhythm.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the whole plan for managing your team this season is way different. When you go back to even summer, we weren't allowed to do a lot of things. And so we had to get fit and play volleyball at the same time, where usually they're coming in and they have the volleyball conditioning because they're getting off of club ball pretty late in the summer. So, this year we're really trying to be, concerned about tapering them in because of injury prevention and that type of stuff. So trying to be mindful of where they are, physically. So yeah, we had that component of it, and then try to get these dual matches in so you can get a little muscle fatigue in there and game play, because then you know that you have muscle memory kind of taking place. So yeah, it's been a different season, 18 games in, and yeah, I think right now it's, we need to keep playing. We can keep improving. And we need to keep playing good teams to be able to do that.
Some of your key players so far this season, offensively, Lila Traylor leads the team, 173 kills. Right behind her is Kingsley Wallace, 169 kills. That seems like a pretty good 1-2 punch on the outsides for you so far this season, and they're both seniors.
Yeah, we're going to miss them next year for sure, but I'll take them right now. Yeah, definitely. And we've had some juniors step up as well. But yeah, those two have really always kind of put the team on their back last year and this year. And so they have a little experience to go along with it and a lot of determination.
And talk about that a little bit. I mean, especially for seniors this year, a lot of seniors that I've talked to, they watched as the spring sports athletes from last year lost their season and never got a chance to finish it. And every senior I've talked to this fall seemed very appreciative of just the opportunity to play. Have you seen a little bit extra from these seniors, just knowing like that it's kind of a day by day, week by week season right now?
I think so too. And that, we remind them, we want them to experience life as a high school senior. We want them to do that. And then constantly have to remind them, hey, be careful because you just don't know. So there's a gentle balance there because you don't want anyone to live in fear or anything like that. But yeah, I think that they really do. When you play so many games, like in club and in high school, like it's so many matches that it's not a lot of training going on, that you kind of see them just, okay, next game. Where I think we're in the middle of a game saying, I want this game, at this point. And so, yeah, I do see a lot more determination in the kids as of right now.
When y'all opened the season, you actually opened the season 1-4. The one win came against Episcopal, which isn't a bad team at all if you've looked at their roster and know how many D1 athletes are going to be coming off there. What changed, or what happened after that? Because I mean, since then y'all have rattled off 13 straight wins to improve to 14-4.
I think they're just, honestly, when we competed in those games early, they're just better than us at that time. And we just needed more time to get where we're going. I think that those are great teams. I mean, going 5 with George Ranch, I think 4 of those first 6 games were 5-game matches. So we're getting better all the time. But maybe a little bit more determined because they know it can go either way. But I think we're just in the mix of we're getting better. We're getting better. We need to play these teams so that we can, learn how to play it at a different level.
A lot of times we talk to coaches and they some coaches like to load up a non-conference or a non-district schedule because they know what's coming in the playoffs. And for instance, for y'all, I mean, Episcopal was one of those games you played at Clear Springs, a Friendswood. You went 5 with them and ended up beating them. Kingwood Park won state a couple years ago in the 5A level. What's it like for you facing off against these quality teams in Ridgepoint and Dawson? I mean, is that kind of the competition you want this team to see consistently just so they're ready for the playoff games?
Yeah, I think, this team, we've had 5 returning seniors that were on varsity. Well, 6 returning seniors that were on varsity last year. And then 5 of them, I think, were on varsity the year before when Coach Gamble was here. They just needed that kind of challenge. And so I think you got to match it to your team, but you definitely want to push them. You want to see what they got in the tank, and just you never know unless you do throw them out there in it. So, but definitely going into scheduling this season, I was like, we've got to play as many of the toughest teams that we can just to see where we're at, so we can be prepared for playoffs.
You have about 6-7 games left in the district schedule for the year. What would you like to see out of this team in this final stretch before they go into the playoffs?
I think, we got to keep, things that we're working on is like just our serving part of the game, making it pretty aggressive and pinpointing it so that we can take people out of their offenses with our serve. And then growing as a team, just a little bit more cohesiveness when we're talking about offensive systems and defensive systems. So those are like 2 big goals that we're working on. I think, they really are determined. And so there's a lot you can do with that,
It always helps when there's a little extra fire fueling where you don't have to be the one fueling the team.
Yeah, for sure. And these guys are great leaders. So it's been exciting to be able to coach them this season.
I know we've talked a lot of the technical aspects of your team and everything, but how much fun is this group of girls to be around on a day in, day out basis, practice, games, traveling, all that stuff?
Yeah, they're a blast. Just fun, goofy, fun, silly. And they love each other and get along with each other. So that's what this is all about. In the end, you're just going to remember the people that you played with, and that's what you're really going to remember. And so that's what I hope that they do can take forward with them after the season.
I know we mentioned a couple of your seniors. I want to give you the chance to just kind of name some other players that have done a phenomenal job, because I know it takes more than 2 players to win all these volleyball games y'all been winning.
Yeah, for sure. You can't go without mentioning Logan LaRue, our setter, who's also hit for us this year and set and, kind of overcome a little bit of injury there. And she's tough as nails, and she has really bloomed into just an awesome setter. Like, I've been really impressed. She really got after it. And through this whole COVID, when we couldn't get in the gym, she's still trying to find a place that she can get stuff. So she's really helped be able to deliver the right set at the right time to our hitters. Then you have Taylor Odom, returning middle, and she leads the district in blocks per game. And she's definitely a threat for the other team. She's the person that you have to try to match up with the other middle that's putting the ball away, somehow find those matchups. And then let's see, we have another senior, Lauren Ellie. Yeah, Lauren Ellie is a glue who's played some libero for us and has been an outside hitter for us, so she can do both. And I love her as a libero, but she's willing to do whatever is necessary and just has a lot of great ball control. And then we have some juniors coming in. Samantha Cousins, Jada Gibson, Megan Sheehai, Carolyn Howe. Those guys have put a lot of time on the court as well. And obviously you can't do it with all 17 players, 17 on the roster. But those are some kids, just to name a few, that have been putting up some numbers for us.
As you and we'll finish with this. Last year you mentioned to me earlier you got knocked down the air round by Ridge Point. What's the biggest difference between last year's team and this year's team as you've seen them play? Are there noticeable differences? I know another year of wisdom for these seniors is also helpful, as well as you get another year of experience under their belts.
When you look back at it, you can see, Ridge Point was loaded with seniors last year, and you could just tell they just do the right thing at the right point, and they're calm and they're collective. And I really think, Logan's a better setter this year. Lauren, Ellie, Lila, Kingsley, Sam, Jada, Megan, they're all better players this year. And so I think it is a little bit of them just maturing as a student athlete and be able to handle that load. And getting a little stronger, getting a little smarter. So yeah, I would definitely, that's the difference, is we're just a little more mature than we were last year.
Is it even more impressive that they did that in an off season that has been the most unprecedented off season, where really no club volleyball, no chance to get in the gym, no off season? I mean, they've gotten better despite all of these challenges.
Yeah, and I think that's hats off to them. It's important to them. We started SAC in the summer. Every one of them reported to SAC. I don't know if it's because, usually there's so much going on with club and everything that you don't get all those kids in our strength and conditioning in the summer. But every one of them showed up and wanted to work hard, and then it, got shut down. But somehow they found ways to keep getting things done. So yeah, it does speak to them and what they can really accomplish when they set their minds to it, right?
Yeah, and I've talked to a few volleyball coaches. I say, it's unfortunate that club volleyball didn't happen this summer, because I know those girls, it's a big part of their summer. But at the same time, I told them, I said, hey, once those 6A playoffs come, these are going to be the freshest that these legs and arms have been in a while. So you're about to see some of probably the best Texas high school volleyball that we've seen, because they're all fresh.
I guarantee it was good for all their bodies. You just needed to make sure you made them strong after we let them have a break, but for sure. I agree 100% there.
All right, she is Kaddie Platt. She is the head coach of the Memorial Mustangs volleyball team. They're 14-4 on the season. They are rocking and rolling towards the playoffs. Coach, we appreciate the time. Best luck the rest of the way of the regular season, and we will see you in the 2020 postseason here in just a few weeks.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
What's up, everybody? Hey, if you love that video, go like it, comment, and also spike it, the subscribe button, to follow all of our videos on our YouTube channel, to keep up with all of the great content we're pushing out on a daily basis.